Hi, it's Mrs. Evinger. As promised, I'm here to help you navigate the synthesis of research. So when we talk about research, there are two components that I like to break research up into. So the first one is where we glean our sources for information. And the second one is where we take that information, we synthesize it into our response. And so this week in our mini research project, I have made sure that you guys already have 3 sources to use to glean information. And that was done intentionally so that you didn't have the stress of trying to find your own credible sources. For me, sometimes that's the most time-consuming part. And in this age of e-learning, I just wanted to make sure that we navigate these times together. And so I've given you 3 sources to use. And as you read them and watched the video, one of them was a video, I asked you to take notes to respond to 2 research questions. And you're actually only going to end up responding to 1 research question. You're going to respond to how does the literary genre of dystopian novels contribute to a society? Because I'm going to model for you today how to synthesize your research based on the notes you've taken. And I'm going to use the first question. How did the genre of dystopian novel emerge? And I'll just let you know, the first question I felt like had less information in the sources I gave you. So I think it'll be easier to synthesize a response to that second question, which is why I'm asking you to do that on your own, just because you have more information to use in your response. So please bear with me. I'm going to share my computer screen and hope that technology works out. I was just explaining to students who I was teaching live that I live far enough out in the country that we don't have internet. So I'm actually using a hotspot right now on my phone, and fingers crossed it works through this entire process. But I have asked you to read 2 articles and to watch 1 video. So that's 3 sources, and to take notes. And I just want you to see that I did the same thing. I took notes on what I was reading. And so, and what I watched. In class, I would teach you the note card method if we were actually in class this semester. And what that is when you take notes, you put 1 piece of information down on each note card. So you don't fill this up. You just write 1 sentence and you list the source at the top. Because I'm not there with you to explain that method, I've modified it a little bit for you, hoping that it's easier and accomplishes the same thing. So if you want to look up the note card method, you're more than welcome to. I'm sure there are plenty of YouTube videos on the note card method for research. It's actually a method that has carried me through my first 2 degrees, and I'm working on my 3rd degree. And it was interesting when I took my class to start my dissertation, my professor introduced us to the note card method. And fortunately, I had already had experience with it. So if you want more information on that, I can get more information on the note card method to you. But for the sake of what we are doing with e-learning, I do want to show you what I've created for you to use. So I'm going to share a window in my computer screen so that you can see what I've done here. All right. So you'll see that this presentation is available on my class instructions for the week. So this is synthesizing research. I just want you to understand how we put our notes together. So when we do research, I'm actually going to not present because that seems to be taking more time. All right. So synthesizing research, this is just a tutorial. The first step I want you to do is I want you to transfer the notes that you took onto the graphic organizer. And you can find that graphic organizer linked for today's assignment. You're not going to turn in this graphic organizer, okay? So you don't have to email it to me. You don't have to share it with me. It's simply for you to use to create your answer for tomorrow's assignment. So on this graphic organizer, I have given you a few lines, and you can add more lines if you need to, and you don't have to fill them all out. But hopefully, as you read, you took notes as I advised. And so for each source, I just want you to list those notes that you took in response to the question. So I'm going to model for you how to do this using the question, how did the genre of dystopian novels emerge? And I found in that first article, there wasn't a whole lot of information about that. But I think that these two quotes could be used for us to answer this question. And I took these quotes directly from the text. So I put quotation marks around it to let me know that these are not paraphrased. This is the author's words. I can't steal those words and plagiarize it. For source number 2, I found that there was a lot more information. Ostergaard seemed to explain how utopias emerged. I think there was even a subsection titled "The History of Dystopias." So this is the information that I gleaned from that, and you can see again, if I copied it directly from the text, I put quotes around it. But if it's my own words, I'm paraphrasing what the author said. I did not. And then the third source was the video, and the video was brief but succinct and to the point, and it just had a few pieces of information. So I felt like the second source was much richer in information, but the first and the third sources also had considerable information to share in my response. All right. So step 2, I want you to take that graphic organizer and I want you to put the information in sequential order to be used in your paragraph. So when you are looking at your question, and for me, that question is how did the genre of dystopian novels emerge? I'm going to look through all of those pieces of information and I'm going to number them 1 through 8 because I have 8 pieces of information in what order I think that they should appear, what makes the most sense. And so you'll see in source 1, I felt like this comes in best at 5th and this comes in best at 8. So source 2 had the most information like we talked about. I don't know why it's just like, sorry. So all 4 pieces of information, I'm going to start with these 2 pieces of information. But 3, I felt like this piece of evidence about the first dystopian novel from the third source really went after I explained dystopian being the antithesis of Thomas More's utopia. So you can see that I've looked at everything all together and I numbered them in order that I want them to appear. Okay. So the next thing you're going to do once you have an order for the information you're going to include in your paragraph is you begin your response. And we're going to begin our response the exact same way that we begin every short answer response, by restating the question. So I'm going to have you restate the question. For me, it's dystopian novels emerged. Okay. I should have probably included the genre of dystopian novels emerged. I didn't. Sorry. I was a little lazy there. But dystopian novels emerged. And then I'm going to share my first piece of evidence, which comes from my second source. I'm right here. So I go ahead and I share that dystopian novels emerged in response to utopias. Utopias, Greek translated to mean no place for you to show humans an unattainable ideal. Now, the next step is to use a parenthetical citation. So when you begin your response and you add information from your sources, I have to show my readers that this is not my idea. You're not listening to me and believing me because I'm Anya. You're listening to me and believing me because this credible source said so. So this is establishing my credibility, citing the source. And this is called a parenthetical citation in MLA format. You put the last name of the author and the page number. Well, in this case, we don't have page numbers. I gave you these articles on a Google form without page numbers, and there's a video. So we're just going to use the last name of the author to show that this is where the idea came from. And here you can see when we use that parenthetical citation to cite a source. Look, I highlighted it for you. So you put the last name of the author inside the parentheses. Notice the period comes after the parenthetical citation. Okay. So when you continue your response, you'll see that these just go in order from my graphic organizer, and you'll see that I cite the different sources. Now there's a citation in here that's different. This sentence that goes on to the next slide does not have a parenthetical citation at the end. And the reason I did not put a parenthetical citation, and you can see it's a word for word direct quote. So there should be credit given to somebody else because those are not my words. But what I've done is instead of using a parenthetical citation at the end, I cited the person at the beginning with what's called a speaker tag. So as Nadworny states, this is a speaker tag. I don't have to use a parenthetical citation if I have a speaker tag in there. Now you'll see that these names are all mixed up. So it shows that not all of my ideas were just from one source, that these 3 different experts agree on the information I'm giving you. And that's an important consideration in this task, is to make sure that you do mix up those pieces of information to show that it's an agreement from the experts, and you're not just going through thematically to find information. So let me go ahead and read this to you. And if you have any questions, go ahead and shoot me an email. I am going to be online next week. I know it's our off week. We don't have e-learning next week, but I will send out a link for our Google Meet, and we're going to meet on Wednesday at 10:30. It's just an opportunity for us to chat, for me to clarify anything you didn't understand from this week, to maybe talk about Unwind. Hopefully you'll be reading it by then, and to just catch up on what's been going on. So how did the genre of dystopian novels emerge? If you need extra help with this, please reach out, let me know. Maybe I can set up office hours later today too, and you don't have to wait until next Wednesday. Dystopian novels emerged in response to utopias. Utopias, Greek translated to mean no place, were used to show humans an unattainable ideal. It's from Ostergaard. Dystopia is the opposite of utopia, which first emerged in 1516 in a book titled Utopia, written by Thomas More, Ostergaard. The first dystopian novel was written by Jonathan Swift, Gendler, titled Gulliver's Travels, that followed the journey through seemingly perfect societies that ended up being incredibly flawed. Gendler. As technology advanced in the Industrial Revolution, an ideal society began to seem more attainable. This does not have a citation because these are my words. This is my interpretation of the research I'm presenting. Rather than achieving perfection with the progress of the Industrial Revolution, the horrors of world wars and the systematic execution of an ethnicity took place, Ostergaard. As Nadworny states, remember, there's not going to be a parenthetical citation because I used a speaker tag here. As Nadworny states, there's a whole lot of gray area out there. Authors began writing about dystopian societies which examined contemporary political and social structures, exaggerating the imperfections to show what could happen. Ostergaard. As technology advanced, authors had more material to use, including medical advancements, mass media, atomic energy, artificial intelligence, and space travel. Gendler. Dystopian novels do not have happy endings because they are about choices and consequences. Nadworny. They have emerged to show people how components of society might become a flaw in the future if humanity does not make ethical decisions. So you'll notice in my paragraph, the first sentence and the last sentence do not have citations because the first sentence introduces my research. So I'm not going to cite anybody else. I'm just introducing you to the research I've done in the topic. The last sentence is a concluding statement that really grasps what the entire paragraph was about. And so that's my own conclusion based on the information presented. So I hope that this model has helped you. Tomorrow you're going to answer, well, it's actually open today. You can answer it today. Tomorrow's assignment is a Google form where you're going to answer the second question. How does the literary genre of dystopian novels contribute to society? And you're only going to answer it in a paragraph. I'm not asking you to write a whole paper, just one paragraph. Synthesizing the information you gleaned from these sources this week and showing me that you understand how to put information together in a paragraph using research methodology. You'll notice that I have some grammatical errors in this paragraph. I did not italicize the names of books. And I did that intentionally because on your Google form tomorrow, I don't think you're going to be able to change the format of titles. And I apologize for that. I know that it's inconvenient. If we were turning in a Google document where you could format things, I would want you to use correct grammar as far as the format of novels, titles of novels, and short stories. So I hope that you found this helpful. I do miss each of you. I really enjoyed and appreciated the students who logged in at 9 o'clock this morning to meet with me for the live instruction and ask questions. It was so good to just to see your faces, and it was so good to hear your voices. So I hope that this instruction finds you well. Please stay safe, stay healthy, stay at home. And again, please reach out to me if you had any questions about synthesizing your research. Have a great day, everybody.